if you have to try to control it, what they do with it. Sounds like me. Made the best swing set with his own hands, and every kid wanted to play at the Stewart's house. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys got an opportunity to talk to Harold Irby that was in here. And Harold mentioned that, you know, they always went to the backyard and played on Big Daddy Swing with Uncle Mike, Aunt Kay, and Aunt Jackie. And he was saying all of the kids always used to come to Big Daddy's house. I remember if some of you, when he lived in Chickasha, remember the thing was we was always in Big Daddy's backyard. You know, and he's had only, you know, nowadays we don't even go outside and play on the swing. You know, but Harold mentioned that was one of the places that everybody went, Stewart House. And you know, before I sit down, it just reminds me, you know, it's kind of like some of our auntie's house, some of our houses now. You know, talk to each and every one of you over the weekend. You got someone living with you. Aunt Jackie always has taken in someone. You know, so sometimes we don't understand why we do things, but sometimes it's in us, and we just don't know where it comes from. And so this is a blessing to have a grandfather like that, and it's also a blessing to have a family like this.
His hands, you know, he was a strong, tall, thin man, but his hands had these veins. And you know what he would let me do? He would put his arm out so I could touch these veins and let them come back up like that. And you know, and I think Aunt and Jackie used to say, that is so stupid. Why Daddy let you do that? But he had these, I could tell you, these veins, and I would stand there, and that was just my thing. And you know, he was just so kind and considerate. He let me do that to him, or else play with his ear or something like that. But and then he made his own home brew, but if you were a drinker, you know, if you walked up and down the street, boy, get over here and sit on this porch. Sit down and I'll have a drink with you. You know, you didn't walk up and down the street and drink. He said, that's disrespectful. But he would, out of respect, he would sit down and drink with us. Daddy, man, you too much. Our yard was, it wasn't grass, it was dirt. We had the cleanest front yard because we swept the dirt. It was really nice. And with this pickup, we would get on the back of, some of us would get on the back of this big pickup, and some of them would stand on the side and hold on, and we'd go to the corner of 85th Hill. He would stop, let us off, and we'd go a block to school. But that back of that truck was full of kids, and those kids better come on. You know, he would wait till the last second. He said, I gotta go. They'll come running and jump on. He'd slow down so they could jump on the back of the truck and take us on to school. But that was my daddy. I guess Gary, I talk about daddy all the time. I'm thinking, you know what? And mother, she was just sweet. So you just,
that's right. That's right.
But daddy, he was a tough man. He was really tough. Like I said, I was the youngest, and I would hear him say, one of the boys tried to sneak in one night through a window. And I would never forget this. He said, boy, if you ever come through that window again, I'm going to put my foot on your neck. And Daddy had long feet, and I'm thinking, you see Daddy's foot on my neck? Oh, no. I didn't sneak around. If someone told me a secret, Daddy would say, what did they say, baby? I would tell him. I'm thinking, I did not. I could see Daddy's foot on my neck. I'm thinking, oh, no, Daddy's long foot across my neck. I couldn't see that. So, yeah, but that was my daddy. That was hey. You had to do what you had to do, okay. So, he was the greatest. He's still the greatest. Look at all this. This is the greatest. That's right. Love you.
Take all morning to tell you that about it. And this is the truth. There were at least 10 of us at home all the time. And all the kids want to spend the night with us in our 4-room house. And then, see, back then you didn't have to get a permit to do nothing to your house. Daddy added 2 more rooms on the back of the house. So that more kids were going to be coming to spend the night. And they were kids that there were 1 or 2 in the family. And they're gonna come and crowd into our house at night. And they did, because Mother cooked. We had 3 hot meals a day. 3 hot meals a day. We had to sweep the kitchen and wash the dishes after every meal. I mean, every meal. One night it was Stu's turn to help with the dishes. And of course, he and Florence were smart alecks, you know. So we'd stand in the kitchen, and all of us, those of us that had to be in the kitchen. Of course, at that time, I didn't have to do too much. See, they did. I'm standing in the kitchen, and he told Florence, I'm going to give you 5 spoons, and I can tell you where you go hide them, and I can tell you where you hid the last one. Well, while she's going back and forth hiding these other 4, he put the handle of the spoon over the gas flame, you know, because that whole gas. When she came back in and he handed her a spoon, she dropped it right away. He said, there it is, right there on the floor. So I knew I could tell you where you did the last one. Because she had to drop it right there. Okay. And she screamed, and Florence was theatrical anyway. And she screamed, and then of course she knew Daddy was coming in there. And so, of course, I won't tell you guys all the things that were said and done that day. It was plenty. But just, we had so much fun, and Daddy was, that's why all the kids wanted to come there, because Mother and Daddy, the way they were, Mother was the sweetest little person. You didn't ever, you know, we Mother this, Mother that, we'd be telling about our friends and what, you know, at their house. We went there and we had this and that, and boy, their mother can't cook it all. And Daddy would say, you know, stay at home. You didn't have to eat there. All you had to do was come home and eat. Of course, we tell Mother everything everybody did. And you know, Mother, what she said, and you know what he did, and we would tell them just all kinds of, and she, yeah, baby, yeah. Oh, but Daddy would come through one of those little rooms, and he said, get out of here and leave her alone. Because he didn't want us just wearing her down, you know. But, oh, she always, you know, pitied us and made us feel like somebody was doing us wrong. And Daddy said, you didn't even have to be there. So, and there's just so many things I could tell you guys. When he moved up to Denver with us, he was still in control. You know, he was always the boss, no matter what happened. I mean, everybody did what Daddy said to do, even down to Stewart when he had to. That's another thing, Stewart. Go to school, we leave home going to school.
He wouldn't make it?
He never made it. And we had one black cop in that town. And so, you know, the policemen, they had the one black one, so his role was just to have on that uniform, you know, and the older man anyway. So Daddy got to the place that, his name is Mr. Burleson. Okay, Burleson's gonna walk you to school from now on. Stu, Burleson meeting at the corner. Stu just laughed and talked with Burleson all the way to the school. He go in one door and right on out to the other. Mr. Burleson be standing right there. And when he moved up to Denver with us, like I said, he's still in charge. And nobody did nothing without, you know, asking or telling him, Dad, we're going to do this, we have to do this today. And sometimes he said he wasn't going to do it, he wasn't going to do it. And, but he didn't speak well, you know, because he had those strokes. But he said, oh, hell no, that meant, forget it, he's not going to do it. But he, you know, we just really enjoyed having him up there. One time, first time we ever heard of like a little earthquake up there. And Daddy was we had a hospital bed in his room, so, you know, couldn't sleep that. Daddy in there looking at TV, and everything shook. All of us jumped up and ran in there and got on the bed with Daddy like he's going to like he could protect us. What the hell? And one time David was down here. David and Mike were over to the house, and he said he wanted them to give him some. But he couldn't say exactly what it was. He told him, oh, hell, look, just keep looking. Just look. Well, it was his billfold because he put his billfold in his purse, in his pocket every morning. I don't care. You know, we dressed him. He did stay in bed every day. He'd get up and bathe him. And Georgianne was there with him, so Georgianne helped me with him every day, you know. And sometimes he would let me and Georgianne do things for me, wouldn't let anybody else. And no, just get out. And David and Mike were looking for what he wanted. I said, looking for his billfold. What you do with it, Daddy? I said, he had it in his pocket, you know, when he went to bed. So I guess what he did was probably dropped it out of his pants pocket. And every time they go back to the door, he said, you know, holding his hand out for it. Where is it? And David, you go this time, because he cursed at him every time, come back and get it. And we truly enjoyed it. You know. Oh, and he loved to go to church. He never, you know, he always liked to go to church. And well, he was deacon and everything. That was his church. Oh, yeah. But we got him, you know, the more he got to walk, it had fantastic, God is so good, honey, had fantastic medical care for him. I think he had 3 different therapists coming to every day. He'd come out, you know, one every day, some, you know, maybe 2 or 3 times, whatever their schedule was. And, you know, they got him walking with his cane, with his walker. He had a walker. And he could really use that walker and go any place he wanted. Then we said, Daddy, you want to, with one hand, because the other side was paralyzed. Daddy, you want to go to church? Yeah. That's where, you know, where had our minds been, we hadn't taken it. But, so we found a church in our neighborhood. It was a big school church, and a church connected. We get up on Sunday morning, and he liked to get dressed up, you know, we dress him in shirt, tie. He got on that hat, you know, he wore that hat all the time. And we had some good pictures. I wish we had brought them of us. And Poochie was in some of them going to church with us. And he went to church, enjoyed it. He'd get back in the car with us and go back home. He's ready to take off his, and like he always did, obviously, take off his shirt, his Sunday stuff. Put on his other shirts and stuff. He was ready for the day. He ate his 3 meals a day, just like the rest of us. Got ready to go to bed. One year, the kids, Pam's kids used to come and stay every summer. And that one summer, when they were there, I always loved ice cream. You know, I've always loved ice cream. So Kevin, I guess Kevin was about 7 or 8, huh? About 8. Pam, you know, said when Kevin stepped off the plane, Jesse said, what happened to Kevin? Because he was round and rolling totally. But he had just designated himself as the float maker for me and Daddy at night and him. I don't know what the other kids did. He'd make a float for me, him and Daddy. Come in there, bring it in there, give Daddy his, give me mine. And he said I'd drink his. And he gained as much weight as me and Daddy. We just had a lot of fun with him, you know. He did really well. I think he was there for like 11 years before he passed. He was very protective of the kids, you know, the grandkids and all. They loved Big Daddy. In fact, Kiki still told him the therapist was just this big, handsome Italian. And Daddy really liked him. He was so good with Daddy. And he said, now, Mr. Stewart, you want to do whatever it was he asked him to do? And, of course, Kiki was about 5. Big Daddy, you say this, you say that. And he's looking at her like this. But she would, you know, try to, she'd make him talk, and he talked to her. And then she said, and this is the way you write your name. So I said, they're going to take it with you. So you know, the kids enjoyed Dad as much as we did. And of course, they didn't know that our kids were innocent. It didn't matter to him that he couldn't do all the things that, you know, see everybody getting up, but of course he'd get up. He never stayed in the bed one day. You had to get him up bathing every morning. He wouldn't stay in that bed. Just how strong he was. I think he'd been in the hospital one time, because he had very good medical care. I think he was in the hospital maybe once or twice before he passed, and then the last time it was, he can go back home. But just great medical care. We were so pleased with, you know, God is so good. He provided everything that we needed. Not that we could have provided it without, you know, but God did. Okay, well, I'll let somebody else.
You know, like Betty said, Daddy would take care of the kids. When I had Chris, I was trying to find a babysitter for Chris, and Daddy's like, you know, why are you stressing out trying to find a babysitter? I mean, what am I here for? So he took care of Chris for me. When it was time to pay bills, him and Chris would go pay bills. He would sit in the car, send Chris in, and Chris was little. Take this money in there. And this is a little boy. Take this money in there, boy. Put this paper in there. Go up to that counter, pay that bill. Bring me my paper back. That means his receipt. And Chris was little. He's like, no, Mama, I remember that going in a store or someplace to pay a bill. And then I know to bring Big Daddy his paper back. He said, bring his paper back. So and that's what Chris would do. And when I would get off from work, I'm thinking, okay, there's toys everywhere. Come on, Chris, pick this up. And Daddy would look at me and roll his eyes. Go on, boy. So that meant Daddy was going to pick the stuff up. And I said, you know, but Daddy, that's not teaching him to, you know, keep the house picked up or, you know, pick his little toys and stuff. And he said, that's a woman's job. I'm thinking, well, I'm the only woman around here, and I'm not picking up his toys. But, you know, he was just trying to be smart with me. Get on out here, girl. He would roll his eyes. Get on out here, girl. But, you know, hey, me and Daddy were tight. I mean, he taught me how, you know, to pay my bills, how to save some money. You can ask Gary. Now, I'm going to save me some money. But Daddy said, pay your bills first. And don't let nobody make a fool out of it. You know, hey, so, you think I'm going to let Gary make a fool out of me? No. I was taught well. That was the bestest daddy in the world. Yes, yes, he was.
I can tell you guys one time, Becky's kids were at the house, and the kids were kind of all like stair-step kids at the time. So they were probably, 8, 9, 10, or something like that. So Becky comes to pick them up. And JR, at the time I had JR at the time, so he's playing with his toys, and so Big Daddy was protective of JR's toys and anything, you know, don't bother JR's stuff. So we're there in the house, and they had eaten and everything. Becky gets up and she starts to go out the door. She was going out just to go, you know, get her car ready, and then she's going to get the kids. So Becky goes out. Big Daddy's sitting there in the chair. He said, oh, hell no. Get these kids. Yo, Becky, don't leave them kids. You know Becky. You know Becky's mouth. Oh, Big Daddy, my kids can stay here. He just laughed. He said, oh, no. Yeah. And he used to love when Poochie and Jackie would come over to see him, you know, and he'd have a good time. You know, sometimes he'd talk with them, sometimes he wouldn't. So that was just him. Everybody just had to go with the flow. Like you said, he was the boss. So, yeah. And the going to church, like Big Mom said, we enjoyed taking him to church. And the kids would, they got to the point where they put up the card table. And sometimes they played dominoes with him, played checkers. And, you know, they'd be playing to win. And they challenged, well, he was playing to win too. Yeah, it wasn't like I'm going to let these kids win because they're kids. You know, they'd be playing, he'd laugh. And they had a good time. So it was really, truly a good family time. Yeah, like Big Mom said, taking care of him was just something he did. Like we're talking about Mike and David running. They didn't want to be the ones to get the bad words spoken to them at the time. But it was just a joy. Yeah. When you think back about it, like Kay said, you know, just to know that you had that time with him. Yeah.
And speaking of those bad words, because I wasn't there all the time, I was, when I would come in and out to visit, I would always be so tickled because after a stroke, I think, remember Mama telling me that the doctor had said that a lot of times folks can't speak, but they can curse. And he could do that really good. And so he would say, "Oh shit," okay. But the way he would say it, Mom and them already knew whether it was a good "oh shit" or whether it was a bad one, you know. Whether he meant stop or yes or go. And that just tickled me to death because I'd be sitting there trying to figure out. But they knew when he was saying yes or no, I'm not going to do it, I want this, you know, or whatever. But I would always laugh because they would just respond to what they knew what the curse words mean at the right time. I'll be damned.
Yeah, that was one of his favorite words. If someone came to the house, someone came to the house from the church and would say, "Daddy," and he'd look at him and he'd laugh. "I'll be damned." I mean, he was just so excited to see them. I'm like, "Daddy, that's not the right word." No. Come on, here, boy. Damn. Oh, I'll be damned. I said, "Daddy," he said a couple of times. You know, our pastor would come in and he was like, "Damn." That was his favorite word. He, like she said, he meant well when he said that. You knew when he meant well. That's right. If you did something stupid, that was stupid. You know, like a boyfriend or something I had. You know, I'm thinking, "Oh no, Daddy, let me tell you what happened." And he would roll his eyes at me like, "You let somebody treat you like that?" He said, "Maybe I taught you better than that."
Mama, tell how when you asked me about getting married, how you had to chase him around the yard.
He was running around the yard.
No, Mom had to chase him around the yard.
And in fact, this is how we respected what he said. We Rich and his sister. And well, two of us. Anyway, we went down to Texas to visit the older brother. And Daddy really hadn't said too much to them on the stop there. The first, you know, going on the way back. We got in, and Daddy was still at work. Stopped. Mother hurried up and made dinner for us. We got to get out there before 5 o'clock because, see, Daddy got home at 5 on time. So we had to get out there before 5 o'clock because she didn't want him to be going off on nobody. So, girl, we were in that car and gone by 5. Yeah, because if he comes and finds me in here today, Mother says not going to do anything. So, and they got everybody rushed and eating. We got in that car and left. Yeah. Didn't see him that day. Mama did that.